This is a tour of the Blackmagic Pyxis 12K and the accessories you are most likely to get with it. You can, of course, buy the camera on its own, but without things like an external monitor, then you're going to have a harder time shooting because even though it does have a monitor on the side here, who wants to shoot like this? So you're probably going to have the monitor. You're probably also going to have the top handle. There are third-party solutions to all of this as well, but this video is focusing on the first-party stuff that comes from Blackmagic. So let's start with a quick look at the boxes of what we're going to be touring today. Starting with the Blackmagic Pyxis 12K camera itself. Next, we have the Blackmagic Ursa Cine handle. And then, of course, the Blackmagic Pyxis monitor EVF kit. Let's take a look at what comes with the camera itself first. You've got the camera, you've got a power supply and multiple power adapters for whatever region you might be in, and these two little plates here. Now, actually, this plate is going to come attached already. It's going to be sitting right here. I've removed this one and replaced it with a Kondor Blue side plate. That's the only other accessory that I have attached to here, mainly because I didn't want to take it off. But this side plate is actually really good. Among other things, you've got quarter 20s, you've got a NATO rail, and you've got cold shoe mounts. The camera's lacking cold shoe mounts. It's probably one of the things you're like, really? You couldn't find a spot to put that in? Where am I supposed to put my microphone? Anyway, that is a great accessory. So if you're going to buy one third-party piece, let it be that. This normally would be in its place. And as you can see, it does nothing except have holes in it. Or it also comes with this, which would replace this. And all this is a couple of straps. So basically, you attach this on here, and then this is to strap in your SSD drive. So that's all that is. So these, fine, cool, but not what I recommend. You should probably get this plate. That's the camera. That's all you get. Then we look at the top handle kit. There's not many pieces in here. There's the handle, and there is this. Now this piece is largely useless without the other part of the kit, but this part comes with the handle. We'll come to all of this. And then you've got the monitor kit. So here we've got quite a few things. First of all, the monitor itself. This monitor is fantastic. It is a USB-C powered, USB-C data, and USB-C touch control. It's one cable, which of course it comes with, two different lengths. One cable does it all. And it's a very nice piece. There's also a sunshade. Where's my sunshade? Found it. Also turned on the lights that I forgot to turn on earlier. Okay, so this little sunshade is very nice. This just attaches onto the monitor like so, or like so. And then when you are using this outdoors, you just flip that up, it pops out, and you've got a very nice little sunshade. So that's cool, comes with that as well, but we'll just leave it off for now. So monitor, excellent. You have a couple of different mounts here, depending on how you're configuring it on the camera. Then you've got a couple of rods and this big side arm handle here. This is if you are going to mount the monitor instead of directly on top of the camera. If you want it off to the side, that's what that's for. And we're going to go through it all. We're going to start with the simplest piece, which is this bracket here, which does not have this to begin with. It's just this piece here. This goes on top of the camera like so. Now, by the way, you can actually mount this on the top or the bottom of the camera. We'll flip the camera over here and you'll see that the screw hole pattern on the top is the same on the bottom. So if you wanted to mount it upside down, you can. And this is meant to be a simple, low profile, no handle, plus a monitor situation. So we've got the bracket on there. Then you've got a couple of different monitor mounts you can use. I'm going to take the swivel one, attach that to the bottom of the monitor. You'll notice here that it has anti-twist pins in there as well, which is very, very welcome. And then this slides in like so. And that's it. Now that monitor is on there. One thing you'll notice about this monitor is it twists this way and it twists this way, but it twists that way and it twists that way. There's directions that you want it to go that it won't, but this one is now going all those directions. So I guess I'm a little confused at what it didn't do earlier. Maybe we'll figure that out when I put it in the other configuration. But anyway, you've got this, you can twist it, rotate it, spin it, flip it, do whatever you like, and there is your monitor. So if you want to go super low profile, you could basically do it like this. And there's your configuration. Now, this isn't that much smaller than adding the handle, and the handle certainly does make it a lot easier to handle, but you could if you wanted to. All right, let's go back to reconfiguring it. Next up, we are going to put the handle on. The handle, let's get this out of the way, has two massive bolts on the bottom to hold on to the camera, and then there's holes on the top, although I don't know what you use them for, because if you put something in there, then you couldn't hold it, but I don't know, they're there. And then there's these two little rubber gasket things that slide into here that honestly seem a little bit unnecessary. So let's put this thing on. You do have to take that metal or that rubber gasket out to be able to attach the head, but this just goes right on top. Attach the handle, not the head. Okay, there's the handle. So just the handle on there, nice and ready to go. And then the monitor goes on just like so, locks into place. And now you've got your monitor. This is the directional thing that I was trying to figure out earlier because this bracket is now pointing forward. Wait a second. I could put it this way. Now it twists the way I want it to. This is why I make videos like this, so you and I can learn together. So do not put this way. I mean, you can, but it goes this way. And now, with that on there, it can twist and tilt and do everything that you want it to do. Excellent. Okay, that's the way it's supposed to go. And that is now your base configuration with a monitor that can be tilted and it's got the handle on it, and you are ready to go. So this is how I've been shooting you with it almost entirely. Now let's get to all these other little pieces that are on here. I'm going to take this off. So now we're using this piece here. This is the other one that came with the handle, which I guess this is why it comes with the handle. This gives you rod support, and if we slide this into the top here, like so, you can raise or lower that to the position you want, lock that into place, and now you have two rods on the front here. You have two rods that it comes with. These rods, interestingly, they have little caps on them, which is actually kind of cool because once you put the caps on, you can't accidentally slide the rod out. So the rod will not fit now. It just doesn't fit in there. But if we take off the cap and slide that in, then once we put the cap back on, now it can't come out again. So that's kind of nice, I guess. Let's go ahead and get the two rods in place. And I'll lock these for now, probably adjust them later. And then we're going to take this piece that holds the monitor out to the side, slide this guy on, lock that into place. And now you've got this arm coming out the side. If you loosen this, then you can slide that wherever you like and twist it. Of course, with this, you can slide that forward or backwards a little bit. They're not huge rods, but you got some play in there. And then with this, you can raise or lower the entire mechanism if you need to. Putting that back in place, now let's get the monitor mounted onto here. Now here you have a couple ways to do this as well. I am going to take the monitor bracket off the bottom, and I can put this on the side, this larger one on the side, and then I get all the full mobility. But that's kind of a big thing. So what you can actually use instead is this smaller one that it comes with. This now screws in with tools. It doesn't have a thumb doohickey, so you do have to use a tool for this, but this will allow you to mount this on the side. And honestly, there may be more configurations for this. I feel like every time I look at it, I'm going, oh, I guess you could do that as well. So it's very, Lego, what were those things? Erector sets. Yeah, dating myself here for sure, but it's very much one of those. So now that this is on here, now this would go that direction. I can slide this into here, lock that on, and now I've got tilt. I can, tilt, raise this up however I like, lock that into place like so. And there we've got it. That's a pretty good configuration. I'm just realizing that monitor can't see this. If I get this closer, there we go. There we go. There's a little better view, and you can see what that looks like on there. So nice way of configuring it if you want to. I think that's everything. The two cables are just longer versions of each other. The nice thing about these cables are they are locking. So since I've got the monitor way out here, I will need the longer cable. This would allow me to screw that into there. And then obviously this end would plug into the front of the camera and off you go. So again, one single cable that gives you your data, gives you your power, gives you touch control of the camera. This is a much bigger configuration. Let me slide this forward a little bit so my fingers aren't bumping it. Much bigger configuration, but if you're mounting a whole bunch of other stuff on here, or you just want to have it like so, or you want to have it like so, then you do. There you go. I guess that's it. That's the base configuration. So next video that I do like this will be all about the Kondor Blue stuff. And in the last video that I did on this, I talked about getting Kondor Blue rigging. I have it all. It's in a box over there. And multiple people commented that the problem with the Kondor Blue was it blocked the top vents. I asked Kondor Blue about it, and I'll give you the exact quote in the email that I do, but they said, that's being blown out of proportion. It is not a problem. The amount of blockage that it's doing is irrelevant, insignificant, something along those lines. And the camera's not going to overheat because you have the cage on there. So, but I'll be sure to get you the precise quote when I do that video. Okay, I guess that's that. Yeah, all right. See you in the next video.